Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Festival of Architecture and Interior Designing, popularly known as FOAID, organized its latest edition in Mumbai recently, embarking on 5 glorious years of celebrating the inspiring work of the Indian architecture and design fraternity. A common platform for stalwarts and future architects and designers, FOAID is an annual festival of creative minds to converse, brainstorm and experience the transformations and innovations in the architecture and design universe. The theme for FOAID 2018 was Time to Reimagine, offering new perspectives on the spirit of design by visionary architects and designers. Day 1 of the 2-day extravaganza kicked off with the lamp lighting ceremony and the inauguration of the design arena that showcased a large collection of built, unbuilt and ongoing projects from the most prominent architects and interior designers from across India, along with the leading brands of the country displaying their latest innovative products.
The idea behind this festival itself is trying to unite, to bring the talent of the young architects and interior designers. Obviously, they will get the exposure of the worldwide best things, and what this festival wants actually, that our country, our state, our Mumbai should get the facility of the best of the art, interiors and installation to make the Mumbai more beautiful, to make the state more known to the world. And I think this can be achieved by such kind of exhibition.
Well, FOAID is one of the facilitator, I would say, and since last 5 years they have been doing this wonderful job, and it's always nice, and we wish that there are many such FOAIDs, so that larger participation could go across not only just Bombay or Delhi but many other parts of the country.
So a festival of architecture is good because you have people meeting and discussing ideas together, so it's always good to exchange ideas and take things forward, and it's very good for the profession as a whole.
This is like say second year with FOAID. So initially like even the last year was really wonderful, and even this year it is more grand as compared to the last year, and definitely it is growing, and it is growing in a positive manner, so that's the best part of it.
We are since 4 years with the FOAID platform. I think there is no place where so many professionals are coming together. FOAID happening in Mumbai, but it's not only Mumbai architects, it's architects from all across the country, and actually also from Bangladesh, from Malaysia, from other countries, Sri Lanka also, which come together over here. So the reach is actually pan-India and a little bit across the border. So it's a very good platform to meet in a short period on a professional manner many people.
The special address on day 1 of the festival was delivered by Bangladesh's leading contemporary artist Mustafa Khalid Palash.
This is also a west-facing building having a big gateway, because this is situated at the entry point of a posh commercial area, so it has been made in that manner.
My works, my passion for concrete. I have shown my projects over there, how we use the bare concrete as the basic element. It's not the only structural element, it is the complete system, it is the aesthetics and that comes out from that material. So my topic was my journey with enigmatic substance, the aroma of concrete. This has a great influence, this has great impact on even the students, even the young architects, and even for the practicing architects who are quite old. So there is always give and take. So this is a great platform where everyone can mingle together, everyone can exchange their views, exchange their experiences. So these are the things, these are fantastic platforms, and I hope that in future it would be happening, it will continue. whole concept means the whole fraternity is brought together, even from the manufacturer, the architect, the client, everybody is there, even the students. So it's a big area where everyone can come and earn knowledge.
In line with the theme for this year, an esteemed panel of architects discussed the state of architecture as a profession and the way forward.
And my first sort of thought that comes in that sense is our own professional moral obligation to society. There are two things that come up. I mean, there's a thing when I was actually driving with a rather critical friend who's not an architect. And as usual, you're driving and you're cursing all the potholes on the road, right? And so he turns around and says, fancy you criticizing it, you're an architect, right? So I said, yes, of course. So he said, what's the connection between a pothole on the road and my... He said, but all buildings in Bombay they virtually have potholes. Everybody's windows leak, or the terrace leaks, or the walls become damp, or the pressure of the pipes, the plumbing is not right. Saying, you guys are making potholes everywhere. So, so how morally sort of invested are we in the quality of the product that we've been in a way signed up? I mean, technically, okay, you're saying there's a PMC involved or whatever, but the client comes to us and build me a house or design a house for me. Are we morally invested in making sure, because, coming back to the transportation, that whether you buy a 4 lakh Maruti or a 50 lakh Mercedes Benz, you're not told that because you spent less, the AC may not work very well, or the engine might stall after 100 kilometers. It runs. It's perfectly, whatever, like a perfectly well machine. It's not going to leak the windows. But we tell our clients, kharcha nahi kiya, what do you expect? Windows to leak hoga hi.
I think it's a great platform because we've just been involved in a very interesting panel discussion, and where we discussed what is the future of architects, and are we really building for society, or are we kind of deviating from our norms? Are we deviating from ethics? So I think when you have luckily for us on the platform we had an interior designer, we had somebody doing urban planning, and we had people from different fields. So it was a very nice collective experience.
What we started off doing 35 years ago is not really relevant. The scale of projects, the size of projects, I think the importance of certain factors within the projects has changed a lot. I think that architects need to be able to really adapt to that. 35 years ago, nobody really talked about the timelines of a project, but with the cost of money being what it is today, I think timelines are extremely critical. And I think architectural firms need to know how to make themselves more professional and respond to that.
It's eye-opening to get a perspective on what the seniors and the stalwarts of the professions have to say about the current status of how things are. There's a lot that we don't know about the profession because there's a desperate need to collaborate, get together, discuss things within ourselves.
Leading architects and interior designers came together on another interactive panel to discuss whether design had been reduced to a visual spectacle, offering audiences diverse opinions.
Right? Even the visual can just create something in your mind's eye, which might be a complete letdown. But I feel then you've lost the opportunity to actually experience it. You're either let down because it looks so great to start off with, or you're flawed. So it's obviously something that the experience you will hold on to. You could have seen 1 million pictures of Ladakh, but it doesn't touch on anything till you've been there and you've actually experienced it. I mean, it's a completely different, experience.
So basically all these photographers just misguide you, right? Fundamentally.
There are so many photographs where it could just be a simple table and a chair, and how they style it. What do they drape on top of it? What do they put on top of the table? What's the background which you're going to be using? What kind of lighting are you going to be using? That's what creates your image. But then when you walk into the space, at times it's just the table and the chair that you're seeing. There's nothing sensory about it. It needs to have, when you walk into a space, you're hoping that you see exactly what the photographer has portrayed in that image. And a lot of times you're let down. The whole sensory appeal is not there. Okay, if there was a beautiful fragrance of that particular flower when you're walking in, or, maybe the lighting, there was a, sunset or something happening over there, Yes, I agree. But there are tons of times where I've seen something and, you walk into this particular restaurant or this, maybe even a museum, which doesn't even look as fabulous as the photographer has portrayed it.
The subject that we had selected is architecture now only a visual spectacle. I think I can summarize it by saying everyone agreed on the fact that yes, it is significantly a visual spectacle now, and the way it is consumed by everyone around, and not just architecture, interior design, furniture design, all design professionals in general are now limited to sort of a visual spectacle as the first means of engaging with your audience. And it's only after that then either someone experiences the place or they actually inhabit it, and then they decide whether it works or doesn't work. But the first time they engage with it is just purely at a visual scale.
It has become more visual, with social media and, anything from whether it's books, magazines, Instagram, Facebook. Things are reaching out there so fast that if the visual is extremely important, and if the visual is not correct and not framed right and doesn't have the right angle, and if the viewer doesn't like it, then it's not important. Even if the project is absolutely stunning, it totally depends on what visual we portray.
It's a very potent tool that it can be a very nice tool to design if you have the rigor and the right techniques to do that. But yeah, sadly, it has come down to just being visual. Become limiting as well for us designers, because a lot of clients, a lot of other people are just being exposed to too much, and they don't know how to kind of decipher it in the right way.
People in urban design...
Presentations by top architects and designers covered a wide spectrum of topics, ranging from designing for acoustically tranquil spaces to the future of design itself.
And then if there's any space left over, it's the pedestrian, right? And today, all of you know that the best form of transport for your own health, instead of going to an air-conditioned fitness center, is that if you could walk to work, right? It's called number 11. With your 2 feet, you go like that, right? And if that is more than enough exercise to keep you healthy. But the air has to be clean, the footpaths have to be there, you should be able to not, get run over by traffic, right? All over the world, we have what I call the illusionary metropolis. It looks like a reflection, but it's so weird that every city in the world, including India, I think with the exception of Dhaka, is starting to look similar to each other. And it does not, there's no point in this. It lacks no history. We have no idea of culture. We have no idea. There's you have to keep driving. It's like an America being unleashed on the planet. And no idea of culture and climate. And, how do you make a building and structure and a city which is resonant to our life, not to some Western ideal, right? There are examples in the East. We always look to the West. We should change our gaze to the East. Like today we look to Bangladesh, to the East for inspiration. This is Seoul in Korea, right? And that word down there is for some reason pronounced Tong Ti Ton. It's not Cheong Chi Cheon, but it's, the idea that we need flyovers, we need expressways, ugly infrastructure, sorry to say, done by engineers, my brothers, but at the same time, we're very low aesthetic taste.
So if you see the image on the top, it's an image from the Industrial Revolution. And the Industrial Revolution is roughly a 100-year-long period, right? So we're talking from 1750 to 1850. And it rapidly changed the means of production that drastically altered the societies that participated in this revolution. It began as a result of steam power enabling muscle power, and that was replaced by machinery, and ended with a serious restructuring not only of the labor system, but also the entire social and political landscape around the revolution. The digital revolution, of course, is a different animal. It began practically with computerization across the last 60 years ago. And we are still yet to see the final outcome of the digital revolution. It's arguably slated as the fourth industrial revolution. Now, the time that we went to school, the big thought process and philosophies that influenced us was the Corbusier way or the Frank Lloyd Wright way. You went through this and then you had the isms, right? All of the cacophony of, do we go after revivalism, eclecticism, deconstructivism, vernacularism, all of these were the contextual conversations happening. Came out of college. Within 2 years of working, we formed this company called Atelier, a friend of mine from class and I, two of us. We grew up to a size of 140 architects. Now we've scaled back to 60-odd architects. When we started the firm, we had this byline which was ethics, intent, innovation. Innovation is easy to do because you control it. You've got to convince your client for sure to walk the line with you. Intent is to do with delivery, reaching functionality, pushing the limits of functionality. Ethics was something that was very interesting. You could be ethical, but the industry need not be, your client need not be. We're still fighting that devil.
In the interior subject, we've got different verticals that we do. And I'm going to talk about one of the verticals that's very dear to us, which is office design. And we've been delivering close to about, on an average, 5 or 6 million square feet of offices.
So we work with getting 60,000 people at work every year. So it's important that we have created a cell that does research in workspace design and workspace strategies. The value that we've added for projects. So it's not just about aesthetics, but it's about making spaces more efficient as to making real estate more efficient, as well as adding to the bottom lines of organizations. So we get employees to become much more productive than in a conventional office space.
It's a meeting point for the architectural community to exchange and share their ideas and concerns of the industry as well, and for a few brands selectively taken to whom can contribute. In every edition, I bring a small capsule of new information, of basic knowledge. First time it was light, then it was heat, this time it was noise. So I feel good talking to people who are creative and who are understanding.
We've been from day one with FOAID group, which has been last 5 years. We've always been participating, and it's always good to participate in such kind of exhibitions because you meet our fraternity people, keep meeting them, and definitely here or there we get the orders for it.
FOAID 2018 also provided a platform to young architects, designers and students from across India to present their innovative projects and creative installations through the Design Challenge and Expressions Art Installation Competition. Day 1 of FOAID came to an end with the winners for these competitions being announced.
So first up, ladies and gentlemen, let's announce the second runner-up of Everest Design Challenge, JJ School of Architecture. And the first runner-up is Aditya College of Design Studies. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the winner, Balwant Sheth School of Architecture. Really grilled by the team of experts. Bronze winner, Pearl Academy, Mumbai. Silver winner, Raffles Design International, Mumbai. And the gold goes to ITM, Institute of Design and Media, Mumbai. And the Diamond Award goes to Vidya Vardhan's Ideas Institute of Design, Environment and Architecture, Nasik. But now it's time to announce the platinum winner. Again is Vidyavardhan's Ideas Institute of Design, Environment and Architecture, Nasik.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.